Thanks, Barry. Thanks for helping me out again.
That's all right, Chuck. That's what sidekicks are for.
I've had talks with him about the daydreams. He's made up this world where he can be,
Chuck Norris?
He says they're sidekicks, that they do things together.
Barry is only a winner in his dreams.
So where's your friend Chucky now, retard?
Now, there's someone I want you and your dad to meet.
But hope is coming his way.
That is your first lesson. You must always be ready. I will help you learn what you want to know. You will work with these an hour each day. If you make a mistake, they will sting you. Look out! Start climbing.
Now he has the guts to try to be worthy of his idol.
Hey, Barry, don't listen to them. Listen to me. I'll race you to the top.
I can't.
Who the hell is he talking to?
You can do it, Barry!
Barry. We always seem to meet this way. It's not gonna be so easy this time. Do you want a real shot at me? Karate tournament? If you're not too chicken. Why don't you just quit now to avoid the embarrassment?
His hero is about to step out of his fantasies.
Hi, I'm Chuck Norris.
And fight at his side.
Why don't you and I go win this thing, huh?
A dreamer, a champion, an unbeatable team. Sidekicks.
And welcome everyone to Bullets, Bourbon, and Karate. And this week's episode is
Sidekicks.
December, in fact, when Sidekicks is released. It's announced that Cheers is going off the air at this point. Jerry Rice is breaking records all throughout this. The Heisman Trophy Award goes to Gino Torretta, University of Miami. Of course, he went on to have
a prolific career in the NFL.
Alabama wins the national championship. Gosh, what sort of dwarfs all of these in comparison is the release of Sidekicks.
Let's not forget Amy Fisher got sentenced for shooting Joey Buttafuoco.
And Joey Buttafuoco would go on to have a more prolific career in entertainment than Gino Torretta. So, December 1992, Sidekicks, starring Jonathan Brandis. Really, Chuck Norris is on the poster, of course, but I guess he's a co-star. He sort of pops up here and there, but it mainly centers around Jonathan Brandis, directed by Aaron Norris.
Good old bro. Chuck. Good old baby bro.
Good old baby bro, doing things, doing big things. And Marcus, you seem like a man who might have a quick overview of what this movie is about.
I'd love it. Here's a little synopsis, just to dip your toe in the water,
get
a feel of it. If you haven't seen it, kick back, because you're about to be taken on a vintage excursion of Kid Wonderland. Okay, so an otherwise rejected or ignored boy, Jonathan Brandis, creates a fantasy pal, Chuck Norris, from his martial arts movie hero. So that's all we get. Now,
yeah, that's all we need.
Yeah, that's all you need. Just a little aperitif to get you ready for it, because what ensues is a comedy, love, action romp of 1990s racism and just all around clean, good fun.
I feel like you use those words, love story and comedy, loosely, because this is this is an odd movie to go back and watch as an adult. But we'll get into it. We're Bullets, Bourbon, and Karate. My name is Adam Archer.
I'm Mark Hall.
We try to bring you an action movie from our childhood every week. Hopefully you can relate to it. Movies we love, and we pair it with a drink. And this week we're doing Sidekicks from 1992. You can find us all over social media at bbkaratepodcast@gmail.com. That's also our Instagram and our Twitter. And you can find us on Facebook at Bullets, Bourbon, and Karate. But all of that pairs in comparison to what we really want. And what do we really want, Marcus?
I think we really want the stars. Those are likes.
Stars.
Those are not likes. But yeah, are they likes?
Yeah,
whatever you want to call
likes.
it. Yeah, that means you just enjoy us. So you see the stars there on the Apple Podcast app. It's easy to click. Click 4 or 5 or 3 or 2, whatever you feel like doing on the day, and just give us a quick review if you can. It doesn't have to be long. A couple of words, and send us on the right track. It helps us get out to more people too, and helps this little acorn grow into a big redwood.
That's
right.
What we want. It helps us beat that algorithm.
Yeah.
So, now that that's out of the way, we also pair our movies every week with a drink of choice. Now, it should be known that the villain in this movie is scenery-chewing, overacting extraordinaire Joe Piscopo. Now, I say that, I can't imagine he was ever given a note to pull it back. You know?
I don't think so. I don't think anything was handed to him during filming during this. And
no, everything. No script was handed to him. It doesn't seem like he was ever told to pull anything back, and it comes across as he overacts, sometimes in an enjoyable way, sometimes in an awkward way, as he's Sensei Stone. Kelly Stone is his name. So with that in mind, in the same way that his performance might be grating to some upon viewing, the IPA is grating to Marcus Hall.
We are drinking today the Stone IPA. For Kelly Stone, and like Adam mentioned, my disdain for IPAs. Yeah, I've never had Stone. When I smell it, I think this brings me back to a lot of things, but when I smell it, the first thing that I think of is I.O. bar. That smell of just spilt beer and whiskey around the bar at I.O.
And a bunch of people drinking IPA so they can talk about drinking IPAs.
Right. And
I'm really focusing on IPAs now. I really can't get enough of them. Me personally, I can have one IPA if I'm going out and I'm going to be steadily drinking beers. Maybe I'm at a football game or something like that. If I choose to have a heavy beer and it's an IPA, it will be my only one. After that, I just want easy drinking, liquidy beer. I don't need a bitter loaf of bread in my mouth.
Yeah, it tastes like this is sucking on a rock that's found in a caliche pasture from Odessa, Texas.
I know, but for those who don't know, Marcus, what's a caliche pasture?
So with caliche rock, just like caliche rock or dirt, if you ever played Little League, if you didn't have the nice fields and you had the caliche fields, it's that harder kind of shit. I'm sure I'm getting this wrong as far as comparing it to another thing like shale.
You sound like a groundskeeper.
But like that, just that hard dirt.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking. I probably don't dislike IPAs as much as you. I will say, I bought a 6-pack of Stone IPA, and it's going to take me a while to get through them. It's not the initial flavor that I mind. It's as it sits in the back of your throat and sort of just never leaves.
Yeah, it does. Right at the top, in the back of the tongue, back there on the throat.
Yeah,
it just hangs out there.
I wish the initial flavor lasted throughout the entire drink, because I don't mind that, but it's like, oh, there it is. It's like, okay, you like me. No.
No.
And that's kind of what Joe Piscopo does in this movie, honestly. We chose this one. It's a Stone, and his name is the Stone Dojo, Kelly Stone. It fits on a lot of different levels. Their mascot seems to be a devil, and Joe Piscopo plays a man in like a mask in this movie. And he wears like a devil's mask in the opening scene. He also plays several racist characters. So
he does.
But that's what we're drinking. What would you drink with Sidekicks? We are aware that there's a drink called Sidekicks, but sometimes when we're drinking in the middle of the day, we try to make it a beer as opposed to a full-on cocktail. And right now we're recording this around 2:30 p.m. And Marcus is going to the gym. I've gone to the gym. You just don't want to chug a liquor drink.
Yeah,
we got other things to do.
We're adults. We got things to do today.
Yeah.
We still got things to do.
As much money, as much cash flow we get from this podcast, we still have other jobs. So that's what we're drinking. What would you drink? Would you drink the Sidekick with it? I think it's probably too smooth of a drink to watch this movie with. Would you drink something more happy? What is it? Hit us up, bbkaratepodcast@gmail.com, or however you want to get in touch with us, whether that's Facebook or on Instagram. We're on all of them, so let us know what you're thinking. And what would you pair with Sidekicks, starring Chuck Norris and Jonathan Brandis? Now let's talk about this movie. Marcus, do you have a personal history with this movie?
I do. I remember watching this with friends, like it was a group of friends. I know there were guys and girls in the mix. This may have been like, it wasn't at my house, it was at a friend's house. Of course, all the girls were swooning over Jonathan Brandis. They love the Brandis. I was excited to watch it because of the martial arts that I heard about it in it. And some of my friends had seen it already. They said, trying to act cool in front of the girls, they're like, oh, it's about this dork just trying to downplay Brandis. Like, none of our girls are going to get Jonathan.
Right.
They just wanted to make sure of that. I ended up liking it a lot when I was watching it. Of course, it's unlike the Stone IPA. Sidekicks, I think, for everybody our age, you wash it down the first time, and it sits in the back of your brain for the rest of your life. And everybody remembers Sidekicks. If you were a child from the 90s, it's always something that maybe it's not the martial arts, because the martial arts are pretty soft in this. Yeah, we know that. It's not too much on action, but for the story of when you're a teenager wanting big things and just dreaming about big things yourself, not even a teenager, a kid still.
You want the big things, though.
Yeah, and you want those, and seeing somebody get to play out those things, whether you're the son of Arnold Schwarzenegger or the buddy, in Last Action Hero, you're playing that guy, or you're being watched as a babysitter by Hulk Hogan, and then or something like that. Yeah, it's something that you wish that you could have done, or Over the Top, as Stallone's son. It's something, man, I wish I could be in those shoes. And this, I was like, man, I wish I could be Jonathan Brandis. Give me asthma. I want to hang out with Norris. And I remember just thinking about that, like after watching it. Remember when you see something in movies and it's bad for the character, but you think it's cool to kind of play that fake? Like, I acted like I had asthma after that for a little bit.
Good for you.
I wanted my mom to get me an inhaler, but she was like, do you understand what you have to do to go get an inhaler? I just thought it was something you could get.
How cool would that be? Like Marcus Hall, like playing baseball, and the coach is like, you sure you can do this? And you're like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
You're just pretending to wheeze. Well, when I rewatched this movie, because I haven't seen it probably since I was a child, and I didn't realize how impactful, like you're saying, this movie was. This brought back so many memories. And when we talk about, once again, going out playing ninja, this movie did that a lot for me. The weapons demonstrations, all that stuff, especially the tournament. When the tournament kicks in, that's when you get to see some really cool martial arts stuff. And it's not done by any of the stars of the movie. It's done by probably real martial artists, of course. The boss fight isn't anything to call home about. But I remember, especially that nunchuck demonstration when he goes, he has the mask on, he's the ninja now. And I would try to do all that shit, man. I didn't pretend to have asthma, but I would pretend to, I would have daydreams, not to the point where I was screaming out in class, but I would have daydreams about, being underestimated by bullies and then just dunking on their ass or something like that. Right. And this movie, man, I remembered it so well as I was watching. I was quoting it before it was happening, which made me think I must have watched this quite a lot. I was 10 years old when this movie probably hit, or when I would have seen it, because I don't believe I saw it in theaters. But man, 10-year-old Adam was wrecking shop. This is by the time I would have been taking karate classes too. So
that's big. That's big.
I was ready to break bricks, record-breaking 9 brick break. I was trying to do it all, and I wish I would have seen it with a group, but I probably just watched it alone.
I think the key, and that's fine. I think the key thing is that I wanted, and maybe this is the same for you, coming out of this movie, and I remember, just as a kid, the biggest thing that I wanted from this movie was that ninja nunchuck storm shadow outfit.
God,
I mean, that was the baddest thing. I just imagine, what if I walked into school with that thing? And now it's kind of scary. I'd be shot by police immediately, probably.
But you would have been laughed at and had your ass beat, probably.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah, I think there is this fascination. I think you and I experienced growing up, and I'm sure many other people did as well, with the ninja. And it's all the way back in